Earlier this year, on January 2020, Tracy McGrady made a prediction that sent shockwaves throughout social media. He said, Ja Morant, I'm saying this right now, he's going to be the MVP in this league. He's going to be an MVP in this league. And he's going to be arguably the best player in the game. I'm going on the record saying that right now. I mean, the kid, he's fearless, right? He's fearless. He's such a cerebral player. And although he can score, he loves being a facilitator and making the game easy for his teammates. And that, in result, these guys are playing some great basketball right now. That's quite a bold statement, considering only 4 point guards in the last 30 years have won the league MVP award, and Morant was only about 35 games into his NBA career at that point in time. Ja was averaging 18 points and 7 assists on 49% shooting from the field and 41% from the three-point land. The Grizzlies were in the middle of a season turnaround after a not-so-good start in their 2019-20 campaign, and they were becoming a serious threat for one of the last playoff spots in the Western Conference. But how could McGrady, one of the greatest players of the 21st century, be so sure about Morant's superstar future? Today, we'll be taking a look at Ja Morant and whether he has what it takes to be a future MVP. Before we get right into it, don't forget to leave a like on this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on those post notifications. Tracy McGrady made his crazy prediction while the Grizzlies were in the middle of one of their best stretches this past season. Since then, Morant's stats, particularly his shooting splits, took a small hit. A pandemic forced Ja's rookie season to be cut short, and the Grizzlies barely missed the 2020 bubble playoffs after losing the play-in game to the Portland Trail Blazers. Still, Morant was named 2019-20 Rookie of the Year and finished his first NBA year with many fans looking at the Grizzlies as future threats. That's exactly the sentiment T-Mac wanted to share. And as important as other young players like Jaren Jackson Jr. and Dillon Brooks were the team's success this season, Morant is ultimately the player that can help the team become championship contenders. But what makes Ja Morant so potentially dangerous? You only have to look at his game as a rookie to figure out what's coming. Inside scoring. One of the most impressive aspects of Ja's game early on in his career is his knack for attacking the paint. Almost one half of his shots came right at the rim, with another 30% of them coming within 14 feet. In total, 78% of Morant's shots came off drives to the basket and in close, with the remaining 16% coming from the three and only 6% from long middies. It's surprising to see a young 6'3" point guard attack the paint as often as he does, considering the league's shorter guards are trending more and more every year towards a jump shot and three-point heavy offense. Morant is not afraid to go at the strongest big men inside the paint, as he likes to meet bigger defenders at the rim by crashing into them off a 2-foot jump. Ja uses his body as a shield and reacts mid-air depending on what the defender does, displaying some magnificent body control at only 21 years of age that allows him to convert layups even from awkward angles and rough body positions. Morant is one of the point guards with the highest vertical leaping ability we've seen over the past decade, something he really uses to his advantage. He doesn't have any issues making his patented 2-foot jumps from 14 feet out and fighting through contact to make his close shots. He's just exceptionally skilled at finishing through traffic. Morant's ability to take off from as far back as the free throw line makes him very unpredictable for defenders, as he has a very complete arsenal. Besides looking for contact to try to draw fouls, he also has some close hooks and floaters that he uses to punish opposing defenders. He uses his very good handles and super quick changes of speed to get the advantage. He can finish strongly from either side, and with both hands, he actively goes into shot blockers. Of course, this doesn't always end up well, as Morant can occasionally get stuck in the paint and lose the ball through so much contact. But the fact he's so good inside this early on gives us a good indication that experience will improve his decision-making on drives. It's really hard to contain a young man with elite athleticism that can blow by you in a number of different ways and finish over defenders at a high rate. Playmaking. Morant combines his lethal inside scoring skills with his great IQ and vision as a playmaker to keep defenders on their toes. Morant excels in the pick-and-roll situations, and he's able to both use the screen to open some space for his own close shot or find the screener on the roll with accurate passes. That floater he has is particularly dangerous because when he goes up with it, he can either make a shot or pass it to a nearby cutting big man if his man decides to go up and defend Morant. It's plays like this one that shows he's miles ahead of the other point guards from his class and make him so dangerous and unpredictable on the offensive end. Ja Morant knows what to do with the ball most every time he gets close to the basket, but he's also willing to take the short mid-range jumpers if he can't find space to finish at the rim or if his passing options are covered by a defender. We will likely see him capitalize more on these short mid-range opportunities for years to come as his jumper evolves. An impressive thing about Morant is he's already tricking defenders into making bad decisions, as he does the little things to make them overcommit or make unnecessary rotations that Morant capitalizes on to feed his guys. He's also not afraid to try passes that have small windows and require a lot of precision, dropping seamlessly impossible passes through the defenders for easy scores. Morant also likes making jump passes. This is so much more high-risk, high-reward type of play. And well, he has the vertical leap to make some of these passes, but his lack of height sometimes doesn't allow him to spot defenders in passing lanes, and he turns the ball over. It's a big reason why Morant averaged 3.3 turnovers per game and an alarming 15% turnover percentage, only 24th percentile compared to the other point guards. He needs to be more selective with his jump passes, which, as we said, he can make given his amazing body control in midair, but there's still very hard passes to complete given he has to react while airborne. Again, experience should help him improve his timing and on-the-fly decision-making, so it looks like he's on the right path. No other point guard his age can do a lot of the stuff he does playmaking-wise. The jump shot. As we mentioned before, Ja likes to take short middies and makes them at a decent 44% clip, but once he extends past 14 feet, he's only shooting 35% on those longer mid-range shots. Granted, today's leagues and analytics revolution is against long mid-range shots, but they're usually a good indicator of a player's outside shooting development. Morant isn't a bad three-point shooter by any means. He made 33.5% of his threes in his rookie year on a low volume, only 2.7 three-point attempts per game, which isn't bad. But this is clearly what will make the difference from Morant just being a star to being a true All-NBA superstar caliber player. Athletic star point guards have historically had bad, mediocre, or at best average jump shots. Think about Derrick Rose or Russell Westbrook. Two players who are so good driving to the paint and making the short middies that you'd think they don't need good three-point shooting. But that's exactly why Russell Westbrook, a former league MVP, struggles to make it past the first round of the playoffs. Nobody respects his jump shot, and his game becomes predictable. Something that could hurt Morant if he doesn't increase his volume of three-point shooting. All he needs is league average efficiency on good volume to make teams respect him. This season, he shot his threes mostly off pull-ups or step-backs, so his numbers aren't immediately concerning. But this is for sure the biggest area of improvement he has offensively. And the good news is, he still has a bunch of time to improve it. But if he wants to deliver on Tracy McGrady's MVP prophecy, he needs a good, deep-range jump shot. Defense. For a first-year 6'3" point guard, Morant wasn't too bad of a defender, but there's key areas in defense he definitely needs to improve on. Morant's athleticism really helps him at least not to be an abysmal defender. He moves his legs quickly, giving him enough lateral quickness to stay in front of most guards in the perimeter. It also helps him recover when he's late to some switches or an opposing shooter gets open, with good closeouts and quick reflexes to react on time. His one bad habit as an on-ball defender is gambling for steals, something that pays off every now and then. But Morant doesn't have enough experience to know which passes are worth the risk of leaving his man open, relying more on athleticism to get his steals than on reading other players. By far the biggest area of improvement is as an off-ball defender. Defenders have consistently beat him with cuts or curls that Morant loses track of, allowing his man an easy score. He also struggles going through screens and sometimes even gets dropped to the ground, and often gets lost chasing his man around. The reason he gets dropped on screens is lack of strength. This also makes him easy to push on drives, as Morant can't oppose enough force on his rivals to stop them from scoring. But overall, if Morant puts the time in the weight room to become a better defender and an elite slasher, and if he can add a consistent, higher volume jump shot, he'll be well on his path to a league MVP. He's got the potential to be a blend of Allen Iverson and Derrick Rose, but with a good jump shot. And if he reaches that potential, he'll remain near the top of the league for years to come. Were you impressed by the 2020 Rookie of the Year? Will Ja Morant become a league MVP before his career ends? Make sure to comment below. And if you enjoyed today's video, you better make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on those post notifications to watch more amazing NBA content as soon as it drops. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on